Okay, so now let's forward on. And the first thing that we'll be working on this is going to be search.js. So user should be able to search. Now, in order that user should be able to search on, he should get something from this github.js, and that will be our get profile, because how will a user will be able to search if he is not having an access of this method get profile. So let's just copy this. And let's just pass in as a property. So in the search, let's just get it to search profile, or you can call this anything. And here what we are calling it as get profile. So there we can call it as search profile. Maybe you can call this anything. So search profile, and that is our property name there. And this is going to be equal to this dot get profile dot bind and this. Okay, so this is how we do it. And now our method name is search profile for this search guy. Okay, and again I would like to just search profile there. So go to the search there, and I can just keep it there so that I can don't forget that this is get profile. Okay. So now let's go into the search profile, and we are already in here. And what I want to do in here is to create a form and then later on handle the form. Okay, so we'll use this existing division, and we're going to give it a class name of search box. And the reason why we are doing this, there is already written CSS for this. So division search box, and nothing shows up here because we haven't written the form. So let's have a form, and there we go. Form goes in here. Now in the form we'll have simply a label with an input. So label goes in here, and let's close the label there as well. And here goes our input. Now this input is obviously going to be, let's make it first of all a closing tag, a self-closing tag, otherwise it's going to yell. It's going to have a type of search. Okay, and it's also going to have a ref of username, and we have done this quite a number of times, how we can access this whatever is being put into this using the event here, and event dot ref dot username dot value. We have done this quite a number of times so far. And it's going to have a placeholder text as well, and the text is going to simply say type username and hit enter hard. Okay, you have to hit the enter a little bit hard. Let's go there, and if we can see, we are not seeing anything. Why is that? We should be seeing it now. Okay, perhaps we are not getting it in the GitHub. We are getting search. The search module is there, and somehow we are not logged in. Oh, come on, that is a silly mistake. Let's logged in. And there we go. We have got nice search box there, and I'm coming from GitHub. Nope, that is not acceptable now. I'm coming from the GitHub. Where that is coming up from? I'm coming from GitHub. Now that is something I don't want there. So let's save this. This should be coming up from somewhere from here, and we'll work on that later on. Right now let's focus back on this thing. Okay, so this is how we are here, and just as the form is being submitted by hitting the enter, we want to call a method, as simple as it sounds. So in the form we are going to use on submit, and this is going to fire us a method, and there we go. And this is going to be simple method, this dot submit clicked or submit enter. Let's just call this as submit. Okay, and we're going to bind it in here so that we don't have to do this again and again. And let's use the submit, copy this, and just before the render we're going to define this method, and this is going to be submit. There we go. Now the submit is going to have an event. Okay, and this event first of all is going to prevent the defaults. So event dot prevent defaults make sure it's a default, not the defaults, and this is going to prevent the default submission of the form. And now we can have a simple username what the people is trying to search. So let input value, or we can call this as value, let value equals this dot ref dot username dot value. Okay, so now this value is holding the value. Pretty irony there. Okay, and this dot props is holding a method that we are calling it as get profile, and that is why I kept it there. I forgot the name already. So get profile, and this requires a value to be passed on that will be transferred there automatically. And let's just also do one more thing which you might have not thought about, is once the user actually search it, we want this form to be made empty again. Now how we can do that? In case you have coded a little bit in the jQuery or something, this is almost exactly the same. So we're going to do this dot refs dot username dot value, and just like we can grab the value, we can set the value as well. Okay, so whatever you are going to be searching now, let's just try this as something, and as I hit enter, right now it's not working. Somehow that's problematic. And why is that happening? Form is not being submitted. That is an issue. And prevent defaults and submit form. I would like to call this as submit form. I think submit might be reserved keyword there. I'm not pretty sure. Submit form. Let's just save this, and I think things should be happy now. And let's just call this as sum. Hit enter, and still okay. This is problematic. Okay, so things are not working. Let's just see if we have thrown up get profile as good. Okay, it was search profile. I don't know what am I doing in here. The property that we are doing is get profile is defined here, but now it's a property, it's a search profile. That's a miss. Perhaps that's really bad of me. So let's just do that, and this happens even to the best of us. Save that. Should be working now. Come on, please work. Hit enter, and there we go. The form is fleshed now. That is a good thing. But what I want to do is now show the result as well. So our search input form is working now, and now it's time to work on the profile. Okay, now the profile is going to work really good, but first of all we're going to render some data. Okay, and we're going to render the data. Now in order to render that kind of data, we need to access of the state first of all. Okay, so the property is going to be throwing up. So in the profile, I want a complete access of the state. So my user, or simply call it as data, we can call it as user data. Now this is the prop there, and this is going to have an access of entire state. Okay, this dot state. Save that. And one thing I can do, I can get rid of this because I made a wrong note and I got a problem there. This time I'm going to make a right note. I have called this as user data. Copy that, and I'll keep that for a moment. And let's have this guy and comment that. Okay, this is good. Now we will be working on user profile. Okay, so now we are assuming that this data, user data, is completely filled up with the values, and what the value we are getting in here is where are our values? In the GitHub, of course. These are our values. So we need to just place these values in here somewhere, and that's it. That's what we have to do. And I think we should do them in the next video.